Hi there. Now, this set of lecture series, I want to show you. So far, we have seen mostly output, right? We are outputting stuff to the console or to the interpreter or screen or whatever. And in the basic way we've done that is by using, right, using a print statement, right? Print statement, print, and then hello. Simple as that. And that puts it to the string, to the output window. Now, we have also looked at variables, right? Something like we have, first name, right? And we have, so far we have basically, I want to say hard coded, right? That's what it's called, hard coded. That means hard coded. That means I have assigned the value there myself, just what it does. What if instead of that, we want to get the input from the user, right? What if we want to get the input from the user? And the way you're going to do that would be very simple. You can use the input just like that. And here, you got to put a prompt. And prompt means, right, what would the user see? So I can say, enter your first name, right? Okay, with a quote and a closing parenthesis. And then I can simply say, print, you entered. Right? So what? Just watch the interaction of what happens, right? Watch on my screen on the left. I'm going to run this, right? And it says at the bottom, it says, right, enter your first name. And I hope you can see the bottom of the screen because I don't like that. I don't like that the cursor is right beside N. So I can put Robert here. You see how it's typing right beside N, right? It's kind of like joined together, right? That is something I don't really like. So what I can do, how can I change that, right? Remember, this set of string will be shown on the screen first, right? And then the user gets to enter an input. So what I can do here, I always put a \n, and you watch what that does, right? \n. Now the cursor is down there, and I put a Robert like that. You see how it changes, right? It's pretty cool, huh? Now it looks better. It looks more presentable. And when I press enter, it says you entered there. All right. I can also do something like L name equals to input \n, right? And then on the screen, I can say you entered first name, and also I'm going to put the L name here as well, right? Just together, right? Just together. So running this, let me make this a little bit smaller so it's a little up the screen right here. All right. And then I'm going to say run, first name, Robert Kumar, you entered Robert Kumar. See that how it comes up? Now, keep in mind that these are, you are reading in string values. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Right, I'm going to show you what I mean. Now, in this case, so since I have written this code and I don't want it to run, I'm going to comment this out. I'm going to put a pound before it. That means when I run this, it will be not looked upon at all, as if it doesn't exist, right? So that's the whole idea. All right, here I'm going to say number 1 is equals to input. Now, this mistake, almost all students make it. So it's good for you to watch, right? Number 2 is equal to input. All right, a number. And then I'm going to do a print. Well, let me use another variable. Total is equal to num1 plus num2, right? I'm going to print total, right? What do you think the answer is going to be? So I'm going to run this and enter number, right? Oh, I missed something. What did I miss? I missed the \n, right? Missed the \n. As much as I hate when I don't use it, right? It's funny how many times I forget. All right, so it says enter number, and I'm going to enter 150. right? It says enter another number. In this case, I'm going to enter 100. So what is the total supposed to be? The total is supposed to be 250. Watch what happens. It's not 250. It gives me 15,000. Actually, 150,000. Right? So what did it do? Right? What did it do that is wrong? Anybody can see? Right? It basically put my input together side by side, right? Side by side, as if these are string, right? As if these are string values. So what's happening here is that when it's reading the input, every time it reads the input, it's reading is as a string value, right? What you got to do is that you have to convert this into an integer, right? And into a number, right? Because here I'm expecting a number. So the way you will do that, you'll say an integer with a parenthesis in the front, parenthesis the back. Likewise here too, you will put an integer in the front and also in the back. So this is what I'm doing here is that I'm getting a integer or a number input from user. You see the difference? Now when I run this, it will give me the correct calculation and not joining numbers together. So 150 plus 100 gives me 250. Okay, memorize this. Remember this, know this, because you will make this mistake, right? You're getting an input here with input and you're expecting a number input, and you're expecting an integer input, right? But it's going to be coming into you as a string, and you need to convert it or cast it. You need to convert it into a integer, right? So that is the whole way. This is basically works. Now also, the other one that you will also have issue with is, what if you, instead of an integer, you're trying to get a value that is a decimal, right? That's the decimal. All right. Decimal number, right? What if you're trying to get a value that's a decimal? So I'm going to run this, and I'm going to punch in a decimal number, right? And I'm expecting an error because remember, I'm converting this to an integer. I'm expecting a wrong answer. So 100.20, right? It gives me a problem because it's coming in as a decimal, and I'm trying to convert it to an integer. It's not right. What I need to do is to use a float, right? A float is a data type which allows decimals, right? So now, if I run that line of code, decimal 100.20, right? And let's go 200.40. It should be 300.6. Right? That is everything you need to know about in terms of getting input from the user. All right, one more thing. Now that is looking pretty good. Okay, in some cases, right? In some cases, you may be getting, right? You may be getting input from the user in one line, right? And I don't want to confuse you, but I want to show you that this is possible. Let's just say, and I'm taking this out, right? Maybe I'm gonna leave this, right? And here I'm gonna say, take that out as well. Leave this one, right? And leave this one. So that line of code gives me the first name, right? What if I want to say, enter your first and last name, all right? Now, that means that the user is going to enter two values, right? Two values. I know this will give me an error, but I'm going to run this and just show you. Right, so right? So regardless of what text you enter in a line, right, on the input, just like I did here, all of that is stored in the variable, right? But what if I want to get two input and I want to put it in two different variables? What I can do, I can put a L name equal to that, and then also I can do a dot split, right? That simply means is that the user will enter two words, right? And you split them, you split the two words, and then store them each in each of these variables, right? So now that I can go here and hit run, it will only going to print Robert because I'm printing the first name, right? So that's some, I hardly have to, I think in all my programming teaching with the students, I hardly had to, we had to do something like this. Normally it's just one input at a time. All right, so that is, inputs are fairly straightforward, and it's always good, right? It's always good to use print statements to see what was entered, and when you don't need it, you take it out, right? It just is good. It's a good habit. Anyways, I'll see you all on the next lecture.